The sound of metal striking glass split the still morning like a crack through stone. Ellie sat across from me at the kitchen table, her small hands gripping the spoon as if it were the only thing keeping her steady. Her wide eyes locked onto mine with a weight no child should ever carry. "Dad," she whispered, her voice fragile and shaking. "Do you want me to tell you where Mom slept last night?" The air thickened, heavy and suffocating. My heart slammed in my chest. I turned to Sarah. She froze mid-sip, her coffee mug hovering in the air like a blade waiting to fall. The faint scent of burnt toast mixed with the tang of dish soap from last night's dishes. Slivers of sunlight cut across her face, through the blinds. Her lips parted, but no words came out. I wanted to laugh it off, pretend it was some strange misunderstanding, but dread was already coiling in my gut. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" I asked, my voice trying failing to sound calm. Ellie's eyes darted toward her mother, then back to me, her fingers clenched tighter around the spoon. "She wasn't in your room," she said softly, almost as if confessing a sin. Sarah placed her mug down with careful precision, the sound sharp in the silence. Her smile was tight, rehearsed. "Ellie, honey, you must have had a bad dream," she said smoothly, though the edge in her tone sliced clean through the act. My pulse roared in my ears. All the small things I'd ignored suddenly came rushing back. Sarah's late nights at work, the secretive phone calls, the laughter that stopped the second I entered a room. "Ellie," I managed, my throat dry. "Where did you see Mom?" Sarah's head snapped toward me, her eyes dark and flashing. Ellie hesitated, shrinking into herself before whispering. "In the guest room, with Uncle Mark." The world tilted. Mark, my wife's sister's husband, had been staying with us for a week while their house was being renovated. His easy charm, his loud laugh, his late-night stories at the dinner table, they'd all seemed harmless. Now, they twisted in my memory, warped and ugly. I saw flashes. Sarah brushing his hand, laughing too hard at his jokes. Things I'd dismissed as nothing. "Ellie, stop." Sarah's voice cracked as she stood abruptly, the chair screeching against the linoleum. She reached for Ellie's arm. "You're mixed up, baby. You didn't see anything." But Ellie pulled away, tears spilling down her cheeks. "I saw you," she cried. "You were in bed with him. I had a nightmare, and you weren't with Dad, so I went looking." My chest burned. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. Sarah's facade faltered. Panic flickered across her face. "Tom, it's not what you think," she said quickly, her voice trembling. "She's just a child. She doesn't understand what she saw." "Then explain it." I said, the words rough, unrecognizable in my own mouth. The kitchen seemed to close in on us, thick with coffee, fear, and silence. Sarah's eyes darted toward the hallway, toward Mark's suitcase waiting neatly by the door. Had this been planned? A quick escape? I couldn't sleep," she stammered. I went to the guest room to read. Mark was already there, working on his laptop. We just talked. Ellie must have misunderstood. Her voice wavered. The excuse dangled weakly between us, too flimsy to cover the wound it tried to hide. I wanted so badly to believe her. God, I did. But the image of them in that bed seared itself into my mind, merciless and vivid. "Talked." I echoed, my voice rising despite myself. "At 2 a.m? In bed." Ellie's sobs filled the silence then, soft and steady, like rain tapping glass, while a storm tore through my chest. I pulled her close, holding her against me, her small frame trembling. "It's okay, sweetheart," I whispered, though the words burned like ash. Nothing was okay. Sarah slumped into her chair, pale and shaking. "Tom, please," she begged, her voice cracking. "I swear it wasn't what you think. We didn't." But her words died away, and in that silence, I heard the truth anyway. The late nights, the secrecy, the way she'd flinch from my touch. Every missing piece fell into place. I stood, Ellie still clinging to me, and walked toward the hallway. Mark's suitcase sat there like a monument to betrayal. I wanted to rip it open, find proof, but I didn't need to. Her eyes had already confessed everything. "Tom," Sarah cried, her voice breaking. "I love you. Please. You have to believe me. But the word love sounded hollow now, just a ghost haunting the 12 years we'd built. I saw flashes of what once was our wedding night on the stars, her laughter, Ellie's first cries, and then Mark, sitting at our table, smiling, while slowly dismantling the life I thought was safe. I turned back to Sarah, Ellie's arm still tight around my neck. Did you? I asked quietly. Did you sleep with him? The question sliced the air open. Sarah's lips trembled, her eyes glistening, but no sound came. She didn't need to answer. The front door opened. Mark stepped inside, red-cheeked from the cold. His expression changed instantly, reading the room, the tension. What's going on? He asked, too calm, too careful. I knelt, setting Ellie gently on her feet. My hands shook with rage and heartbreak. Go to your room, baby, I said softly. Daddy needs to talk to Mommy and Uncle Mark. She nodded, tear-streaked, and ran upstairs. When I stood, my gaze locked on Mark like a weapon. Tell me, I said, my voice low and steady. Tell me what happened last night. He lifted his hands defensively. Tom, it's not. Don't lie to me. Each word hit like a hammer. Sarah sobbed behind me. Her cries blurred against the roar in my ears. Mark's face shifted. Guilt, shame, something like regret. Then finally, barely audible, he said, it was a mistake. It just happened. And that was it. No explosions, no collapse. Just silence. Because the world had already ended the moment Ellie asked that question. I looked at Sarah, her face buried in her hands, and felt love rot into something bitter. Grief burned through me, but beneath it, something else sparked to life. Resolve. I wouldn't let this destroy me. Not for Ellie's sake.